Upgrading and tweaking things on a Supermoto can sometimes seriously change how the bike rides. You have to remember, these chassis were designed for hard off-road riding. So when you throw them on the street and start changing things like suspension, brakes, and sometimes even the smallest little details, it can seriously change how these bikes ride. And in my opinion, that's one of the cool things about building a Supermoto. You can almost personalize the bike to your riding style. So in today's video, we're doing one huge upgrade to my CRF 450, which should seriously affect the way this bike performs. All right, boys, you saw the intro. Today we're talking about parts upgrades for my Supermoto here. And today I'm doing a huge upgrade, which is going to completely change the way this bike rides, man. And I am so excited. Don't mind my garage, it's a little messy right now. Of course, we got the gyro back there. We got to get that thing tuned up for the year, man. But let's go ahead and get this package open because I'm super hyped. Got the switch, of course. Now, if you guys watched my complete Supermoto build series or you watched the time lapse, you know one of the big upgrades I did to the bike was a complete overhaul, man. Now, what I'm talking about here is I went to a complete motomaster Supermoto racing kit, man. This is like almost top of the line when it comes to Supermoto brakes. I wouldn't say it's top of the line just because there are kits like Brembo and Behringer and stuff that are way more expensive than this kit. But this kit is also super expensive and a super amazing kit as well. I mean, we're talking about a 4-piston caliper here. We got the massive flame rotor. We got a stainless line. Now, when it came to the build series, I also got the super sick billet master cylinder, which surprisingly I actually had problems with. I could not get it to bleed, and it turns out the internal seals were blown, and I could not run that master cylinder. So after a lot of disappointment and troubleshooting, I ended up having to go with my stock master cylinder with the motomaster kit, which is still pretty good, but it's just not the same as a full motomaster full master cylinder setup. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, here is what my old brake setup looked like. This is a stock 450L dirt bike style front caliper. I mean, this is just a little 2-piston. I have it on an adapter here because I was running a big rotor. Now, there's nothing wrong with that setup. A ton of people run that setup, and it worked good for me for the time being, but this motomaster setup is gonna perform way better. And of course, like I said, we already got the 4-piston caliper on there. We already got the rotor on there and the brake line. So let's see what we got in here. Also, huge shout out to Toxic Moto Racing. They were able to get me a new master cylinder within a week, and I shipped the old one back. No hassle, man. They are great to deal with when it comes to Supermoto parts here in the USA. Ching, got the switch. There we go, baby. Look at that. The radial master cylinder, Motomaster RMC, baby. This is going to make a huge difference. Not only is this thing going to make a huge performance difference, it's also going to look a hell of a lot better than that stock 450 master cylinder, man. Let's get this bad boy open up. Sheesh. Check that bad boy out, dude. That is a nice unit right there. A little comparison from this Beat 450 master cylinder. And all due respect, I've loved this master cylinder with every brake setup. It's been the most consistent and best I've tried. I did have a Brembo on here before, and I ended up going back to this bad boy because I do like it. But here, we got the new Motomaster. Sheesh. I mean, just look at the appearance upgrade there, and I'm sure the performance is going to be beast as well. And of course, after I get this bad boy thrown on, we're going out the ride, man, to test it out. Now, I am just hoping and praying that this bad boy bleeds, because if it bleeds, this thing will be good to go in 10 minutes, and I'll be super hyped. If it doesn't bleed, that might mean I got another bad master cylinder, and I'm going to be stuck with my stock 450 one. Now, messing with brake fluid can be absolutely messy, and if you guys haven't done it before, it actually sucks sometimes. And brake fluid is extremely toxic, so if you get it on anything on your bike, I mean, it can ruin your graphics kits, your powder coat jobs, your carbon, if you let it sit on there. So we have to be extremely careful here not to get any of this brake fluid on here. Of course, put gloves on because I mean, there's no way you're not gonna make a mess while doing this. Of course, we're gonna have some dirty rags prepped for this, man, because like I said, this is going to be a messy job. We should need a 14 mm. Crack that bad boy loose and try not to get fluid everywhere. Now I'm keeping the lid on the master cylinder. That's a little trick for you guys. If you keep the lid on when you remove a brake line like this, it will keep all the fluid in there. It kind of vacuum seals itself, I believe. That's the key word of the day, I believe, because this could just absolutely start dumping fluid everywhere. We are good. A little drip, that is common. We're gonna put the banjo bolt back in. Call it good, man. So the good thing about this too is the brake line's already primed, so we have brake fluid all the way up to the top. So that's gonna make bleeding this new system even easier, baby. And just like that, that is how you do a clean master cylinder swap, man. No brake fluid anywhere. This is just what I like to see. We're gonna put this banjo bolt a little bit farther in so no more fluid leaks out. Okay, I am excited to ride today, dude. It is like 77 degrees and sunny, so I can ride in a t-shirt. So I'm trying to bang this out quick. I'm gonna change my gloves. I don't wanna get any brake fluid on the fresh master. The motomaster came with its own banjo bolt here. Slap that little crush washer on there. Keep the extra one. And we need some Allen keys right there. It's crazy to think that whenever I first got into motorcycles, I had no idea how to work on these things. And now I can literally do full builds and swap stuff out so fast. And that's not trying to flex or anything. That, if anything, that's encouragement, just to let you guys know, don't be scared to try to work on these bikes. It's really not that hard. It's just some nuts and bolts. Just like that. Now I need a 12, I believe, correct. Okay. Okay. Banjo bolt, crush washer, brake line, crush washer. Put my 12 down while I get this brake line lined up. This is kind of being a pain just because, and I just dropped my crush washer. We need that. This is kind of being a pain because my brake line routed a little weird, so it's make sure I got enough torque. Okay, now we're ready to put some fluid in there, baby. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys the meta on how to bleed brakes on a setup like this when you have a more complex setup. A setup like this, if you fill it at the top and you sit there and just try to pump it, and shoot it at the caliper, you're never gonna get it. Because these are high performance systems. And they have super tight tolerances inside. I sound like a scientist. Pretty much the tolerances with all the seals and everything in there are a lot tighter. So if you sit there and try to bleed it like normal, it just ain't gonna work. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. Because, you know, sometimes I know what I'm talking about, but I just don't know how to put it into words, man. Okay. We need an 8 mil caliper side. Okay, I am on lock today, man, with the tools. Okay. And then we're gonna get this big old syringe here. Make sure that bad boy's cleaned out. Wipe everything down, try to keep the brake fluid minimal. Slide the black hose into the hole. Fills up the brake fluid. Yeah, buddy. Now we're gonna squirt a little bit. What we're doing there is shooting air out, just like they do at the doctor's office. Okay. And this is the tell sign if this is gonna work or not. We're gonna hook this hose up to the thigh bleeder right there. Put a hair of pressure without blowing the hose off. Crack this open. I'm really nervous, I hope this works. Yes, it's working. The reservoir is filling up with fluid and there's air bubbles coming out. That's what we want, guys. Come on. New master cylinder. Goated. We don't want to press too hard. We don't want to blow any bushings out. Seals, my bad. If you have a complex master cylinder like this and you push too hard, you can actually flip the seal inside, and that will cause it to never be able to be bled again unless you take it apart. We are gonna lock that bad boy down. Put a little rag around this, sometimes it'll squirt. All right, that's what I'm talking about, baby. We shouldn't need this syringe anymore. We'll just empty the fluid out. Put that back in my grease corner. This is the fluid you guys should be running, guys, on all your bikes. Moto RBF 600 or 660, best in the game. All right, let's go, let's go. Pump, 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 pump. Pump that up a little bit. That's just gonna prime it with a little bit of fluid, and we are gonna move on to step 2. Get thy fluid collector. Just like so on the banjo bolt. This can kind of be a pain with one person, but we can make do. Make sure that's securely attached. We got that on there. All we're gonna do is bleed it like normal. Give it a few pumps, hold, crack, shut. Yes, and we're building pressure, boys. And we're just gonna continue doing this until we have full pressure, man. Depending on the millimeter of master cylinder you have, this can take a few tries. So something like that stock Honda master cylinder, you can do that in like 2 pumps. It was pretty much ready to go just from pumping it up from the caliper, reverse bleeding it. This one, I don't know, it could take 20, 25 times to get it to feel right. All right, guys, we got the setup on there and dialed, man. That looks good. I really hope that it's bled the whole way. It's kind of soft up until about right there. Then it's like it hit a brick. But the thing that I noticed is even when the wheel's spinning and I press it like that much, where it feels like I'm not even pressing the lever, the caliper's already grabbing. So yeah, like right there, I'm not even at the wall yet, and I can even barely move that. So yeah, we're gonna take it out and test ride it, boys. Let's get it. All right, guys, so I'm out here at a parking lot. I was gonna mess around on the bike, but unfortunately, in the time riding down here, I believe the vibrations of the bike actually knocked some air bubbles loose. So I lost a ton of brake pressure, man. Now it's still enough to like safely ride. It's just gonna be a little different for me because usually I use one finger when I get a brake. Now it's hitting my fingers, so I'm gonna have to kind of use 2. So it's still enough for me to safely ride home and everything like that. But down here at this parking lot, I'm not really gonna be able to like do any stoppies or anything. Not that I really could anyways, but I'm not gonna be able to do any like severe heavy brake testing. But we are gonna mess around a little bit because this thing already did make a big difference on the way. I could already feel it. And I'm telling you already, getting a proper brake kit for your Supermoto is definitely worth it. Now I'm just running my DJI mic clipped to my shirt. I don't have my proper moto vlogging mic in, so hopefully you guys don't hear too much bike. All right, we're just gonna kind of do a little high-speed entry here and lay on the front brakes. Already that is grabbing hard, and just kind of see how it feels. On the brakes pretty heavy. Ooh, a little stoppy. Yeah, they feel good. It just, you can feel, so the difference is like comparing this to the smaller master cylinder that was the stock 450 one, is this one gives you so much more like millimeter by millimeter play that you can actually feel the brake pressure so much better. barely getting into it. You can see the fork squatting, and there we go. We're lifting the front. Let's see if we can do a little stoppy. Oh yeah. Didn't roll it too much, but yeah, man, these things grab hard. Oh yeah. Barely any pressure there, and she's lifting right up. Oh, it locked up so hard there, the front tire slid. Wow, man, these feel amazing. I'm telling you, even though they're still not 100% bled, like the difference already is insane. Like right there, I'm barely even on the brakes. It's already getting pressure. It's like big upgrade. Do a little low speed maneuvering. Great practice here, guys, if you ride on the road. You got to get good at these low speed maneuvers, man. Little one hand, this ain't nothing. Toss it into a figure eight. There's a lot of gravel here, so I'm kind of scared to lean it down. See, the front tire was already kind of giving out there a little bit. You can feel it slip a little bit on the gravel. Try a little maneuver here. Wow! I haven't done that in forever. A little stoppy to wheelie. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said before a million times, I highly recommend, man, getting a brake kit for your bike. Not only that, but it's just crazy how the smallest little upgrades, the smallest little details can completely change the way your bike feels. All right, guys. Well, if you watch this far, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.